3, 2, 1.
What's up, everybody? I'm Mass Connection.
I'm Dubz Glass.
And you know what it is. It's seriously motherfucking stoned.
And today's guest is...
Sticky Hives. Sticky Bees. Sticky Bee Hives.
Sticky Bees.
What's up, man?
Sticky Bees.
Everyone's favorite local beekeeper. So, welcome to the show, man. And cannabis enthusiast, of course.
Apiary.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, what's up, man? What is the proper term for beekeeping?
Beekeeper is good. Beekeeping, if you want to get technical, apicology is like the study of bees. I don't have a degree in beekeeping, so
Cool.
I stick to beekeeping.
We're a minute and 10 seconds in, and you've already learned something. So, boom. The podcast
Bam, knowledge.
The podcast has been successful.
Every day is a school day.
Yep, as long as you pay attention.
If you guys don't follow him already, you should definitely follow, especially when he does his like beehive loadings. Those things are sick. He did a swarm out of a tree bush.
That was fun.
Lighter?
That was at our buddy Steve's house. His neighbor's a
SF
beekeeper.
Glass.
Shout out SF Glass. We'll
What's
get
up,
that out of the
Steve?
way now. What's up, homie? How are you?
Just so everybody knows, motherfucker got a Terminator leg the other day.
And it's sick.
Hell yeah.
He's gonna stick it up every one of your asses.
Every single one of them.
You fuck with him.
Thing's got Bluetooth.
It has Bluetooth?
It does have Bluetooth.
Wait a second. Does it have a Bluetooth speaker?
That's what I was asking.
No, I think it's Bluetooth, like, to communicate.
It sends him stats to an app on his phone, but I was hoping that there would be...
It's like a grow controller
speaker.
for your leg.
I was hoping it would be like a jam box so we could just rock out.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. I know it had like computer processors in it and shit like that. So, how you doing during COVID?
I'm doing all right. I'm keeping very busy. I have a son that I get to see 5-6 days a week. I get to do his schooling, and I hang out with him every morning. And then in the afternoons, I do a little bit of work. And when the weather's good and it's time, I go and take care of the bees, check in on them.
Oh yeah.
Is it beekeeping season officially? When does that start?
Beekeeping season is year-round, but the busy season begins in like mid-April for most beekeepers. And it goes through probably like late September, early October, depending on the weather.
Okay, cool. So it's kind of like growing weed in New England. Started indoors around April, wrap it up around beginning of October. Nice. Yeah, I'm good. I get this blunt. It's fucking
seriously stoned. I forgot.
fruit, whatever, man. It's fucking fire.
Also, yeah, we got a blunt.
We got
the
blessed with
tobacco.
some leaves from our man, Paper Planes Doctor. Fucking
You guys don't follow that.
Is that who that
motherfucker.
was?
Yeah.
That was the biggest pile of
homie blessed us.
blunt leaves. So.
Yeah.
Shit's fire.
goes
This
straight
one's
to
like
the
fruit
tobacco
punch or
pack.
something. Like that.
Fuck
In
yeah.
Connecticut.
Hell yeah.
The dude kills it in blunts, joints, artistic joints.
He's available for commissions if you want to have someone roll up all your shit.
Yeah, if you
He's not cheap. He's quality. So keep that in mind before you hit him up. But
don't
he's
waste the man's
talented.
time.
He's
Because he
talented
doesn't have
motherfucker.
much of it.
That's for sure. So now we're out here. So beekeeping's getting off to a start. Is there like a standard procedure to getting the bees situated? Is it like, tell us about beekeeping? Like, give us a
When you start a new hive, there's a pretty standard procedure. You install them, which Dom was talking about. My fun video that's on the Instagram. You can see me shaking a big pile of bees into a hive, and I know that Colin is really interested
I
in getting
am
up
with
close
that
to that one.
I don't fuck with bees, yo. Before we even like continue this podcast,
Colin
they're not
doesn't
really
fuck with anything.
anything that really flies. I don't really trust it.
Definitely not spicy danger flies.
I'm flying right now just so everybody knows.
Oh, there you go.
I have a fun time bottle. Sticky. Finally, we have a guest on here that partakes in the
Psychedelics, yes, I do.
with myself.
I have yet to open a beehive on psychedelics because I need adult sober supervision before I'm willing to do that, so I'm not in there for too long.
Just so everybody knows, in like 10 minutes, we should be getting some calls. So people should be trying to win a wallet today.
Win a wallet.
Win a
you
wallet.
say?
Oh, that's exciting.
Tell me
Hey,
about this
wallet.
wallet.
Tell me about the wallet.
follower giveaway. It's a little wallet I painted a few months ago for a giveaway for 1,500 followers. I'm just getting around to doing it, even though I just passed 1,500 followers. And I said the 10th caller in tonight's between 6:30 and 7. 10th caller will win it. So.
There we go.
And I got a question for you that someone chimed in with.
Oh yeah, we got questions for Sticky. I forgot about that. We got questions stickers. What's up?
Yeah, we posted on our Instagram. So for those of you who follow us on Instagram, check our page a few days before or the day before we record. We try to post some things so people can interact with each other. Try to post some things so people can interact with each other, interact with the show, post questions for our guests that we're going to have. That way you can get the questions that you want to know the answers to answered instead of us just being assholes and not asking what you want us to ask. So with that said, Watch and Dab said, I'm really stoked for tonight's recording. Would be, I see what you did there, curious to see what got him started in this journey and maybe if there are, and are there any medical effects to honey? Like, is it medicinal?
I can answer both of those.
Cool.
What got me started with beekeeping is I've loved honey since I was a little kid. Like Winnie the Pooh style, I always had jars and jars everywhere I went. I would buy a jar or two. So right now I've probably got like 20 or 30 jars sitting at home just from all over the world.
Hell yeah.
And that
How much does it vary from region to region?
It varies from like hive to hive that are right next to each other depending on what the bees find for forage and stuff. So there's like a huge variety. Like if you're into wine or local food, it's very similar to that depending on what the bees are eating themselves. That'll have a huge impact on the taste of the honey and the quality of it. And what got me into beekeeping after my love of honey was I had plotted a community garden behind Fenway Park when I lived in Boston with my ex-wife back in the day when we were dating. And I ended up taking like an intro to beekeeping course, and that led to me getting 2 hives. And 8 years later, last year I had 16, I've got 10 this year.
Nice.
Damn.
Now, are you doing less to focus on more of like the quality or success of the hives?
I want to focus on raising sustainably raised bees without too much chemical input. Like at this point, every wild and managed bee population has some sort of mite problem. It's a matter of how you manage them, and the less chemicals I can put into my hives, the better. So the fewer hives I have, the more I can focus on raising kind of stronger genetics and raising more locally adapted bees over time.
Word. That's pretty badass. And then, yeah, is there medicinal benefits to honey?
There's loads of medicinal benefits to honey. Honey is antimicrobial, and it's been used for thousands of years for a lot of different medical ailments, and actually can be used directly on open wounds. You can apply it to heal an open wound. They've been doing that since, I think, the ancient Egyptian days. It's been on record.
I just use super glue.
What's that?
I just use super glue.
You just use super glue to heal your wounds?
Yeah.
I've never actually put honey in a wound. I've never thought of it, but they do at CVS. You can get bandages that are infused with Manuka honey because it's super, super good for healing wounds and stuff. Manuka honey's all the way from New Zealand, and it's touted for its medical properties. And they sell it for like $20 or $30 for a really small jar. Huh. Locally, you can get here in New England, you can get Japanese knotweed or red bamboo. It's an invasive species, and a lot of beekeepers end up getting a summer crop of honey out of their bees harvesting it, and it's really, really good for you. It's supposed to be great for your immune system, so a lot of beekeepers will sell specifically red bamboo honey or Japanese knotweed honey.
Just the pollen's good for you, too?
Pollen is great for allergies, and it's, again, there's no hard science on this that's been done, or like not a lot of it has been done, but anecdotally it's been used to treat people with allergies for hundreds and hundreds of years.
That's sick. You were saying the other day too, before you asked the next question, is you ordered some honey up from Guatemala, some heady ass honey.
I got some very excited about the honey I got. One of the other things I'm super into besides bees and beekeeping and honey is coffee. And I got 3 jars of honey from one part of Guatemala that pretty much the only thing that the bees had for a research to forage on was thousands and thousands of acres of coffee beans on different plantations, coffee blossoms actually. So the 3 jars are from 3 different coffee farms. And if you look hard enough, you can probably find the coffee beans online, but I haven't been able to find them yet. They're sold out everywhere.
That's pretty interesting. Let me see what else we got for a question.
What is it?
So he asked. Okay, best thing to do.
Those of
Yeah,
you watching at
positive-
home don't want to know why we're not prepared. Sticky's a good
Positive.
friend of ours.
Positive Vibes Monica G asked, best thing to do if you get stung or a little one gets stung.
My treatment for bee stings is pretty simple. I keep a bottle of Benadryl on me, so I try and eat it with as quick as possible. Remove the stinger first as soon as you can, no matter how you do it. Get the stinger out, and then head for the Benadryl, and then ice. Bee stings are going to be at their worst for the first 48 hours, and then they'll calm down after that. Generally, they're not that bad, even on the pain scale. After about a day, it's not too bad. It's pretty bearable.
Already.
See that? Oh, there's people's questions. Oh.
The next one we got is the extinction
Is the extinction of
threat really dire for bees? From Fish Miney.
Is it really dire? That's a good question. I think bees are facing a lot of threats, and most commercial beekeepers report losses over 50 or 60% year over year. And that does not spell good things for the bees, which is why I'm trying not to raise thousands and thousands of hives, because there's no real easy way to keep track of that and do it responsibly.
All right, this is a multi-part question from Bleed Green 420. We got, which honey has more flavor, the spring or fall harvest? And then the other question is, how many times a year do you harvest?
Which honey has more flavor? That's really a matter of preference. Honey from the spring and early summer harvest tends to be a lot lighter in color and a lot thinner, and honey from the fall is a little bit more robust and a little bit more complex, and it tends to be a little bit darker, so that's really a matter of personal preference. I like them all, really hive to hive. They really do vary, so that's my answer on that one. And what was the second part of the question?
How many times a year do you harvest?
That depends on how my bees are doing. Any new hive, I try not to take any honey from, because I want to leave that for them for the winter. Ideally, if a hive survives the winter, I can take a little bit of honey from them in the spring, and then the following fall, I can take what they produced, as long as they have enough stores for the winter. So once, maybe twice if I'm lucky.
We got one more from Watch and Dab that I don't think Colin got to, which was, does bees play a role in if you put bees near a marijuana outdoor crop?
I think that if you put bees near an outdoor cannabis crop, they will probably go to the plant to collect some of the resin from the actual plant, not like the trichromes, but actual plant resins. And they use plant resins in the hive, kind of like super glue or duct tape, but they're not really going for like the buds or the pollen on the plant.
I've heard that if anything, they're more attracted to the male flowers.
Yeah, probably. Just for the resin and maybe some of the pollen that's there.
So that like story that everyone saw where like the bees were like making medicated honey, that's bullshit.
I don't know about that. I would have to do a lot more research on that. I don't think that it's true. I think you can attract bees to any plant if you spray the right pheromones on them and some sugar syrup, and you can get a really cool video out of it. But I've never seen any proof that that's real.
Okay, so
Fred's gonna make
maybe
me some-
true, maybe
just so
not.
you know, Fred's gonna make me some acid honey.
Acid honey?
Acid honey.
Anytime.
Crazy. Now,
We're ready.
speaking of infusing honey, I mean, infusing honey with cannabis is something that you've always,
That is something that I have
Gotten
been
down
doing
on.
pretty much since I started keeping bees, maybe a little bit before that.
what
Messing
made
with
you,
everyone.
were you just so obsessed with honey, you just love it so much, you're like, fuck, I gotta put weed in this?
No, I was so obsessed with weed and cooking with weed that I had to figure out a way to combine my two hobbies. Once I had bees, I was like, well, eventually...
Because you also cook.
Yeah, I love to cook, and I love to cook with weed. So I figured eventually I would want to find a way to infuse my own honey. So I figured I would learn before I had that opportunity.
Badass.
And if anybody is listening and they have a house or whatever and you're interested in beekeeping, you can contact Sticky Bees at Sticky Bees on Instagram
And on Facebook.
and literally talk to them. By what date, you said?
I'm just starting to take inquiries for next season. It's a little too late for me to set up any hives for this year just because I like to get them going early and give them the best shot to build up for the year.
So you gotta prepare ahead of time, but it's worth it.
But I'll be putting up multiple posts through the summer and the fall for people who are interested. They have all season to contact me, and The earlier they can talk to me, the better I can get out to their property and we can take a look and get everything set in
all the
stone.
different areas of Massachusetts have different flavors. Like I remember he had a Spencer and a Brookfield, and they both tasted different.
And what's
different.
wild is those hives were only like by flight, like only 3 miles apart.
We did that tasting at the Thanksgiving party that we threw at
absolutely.
my parents. Yeah, it was fucking sick. Thanks
By
for
the
doing
way,
that again.
Absolutely.
Fan of the Spencer.
So it's while we're speaking about like getting into beekeeping and beginning beekeeping, when you're getting started, like what
we
is?
got a call.
We got a call.
It's 6:30.
Hello, you're talking to Seriously Stoned.
Hello. Hold on 1 second. Can you hear me? Can you hear us?
John,
Oh,
you might have the 8th caller.
Sorry, man. You're number one. But how you doing, buddy?
What number am I?
number one.
Is that Chris?
Word. So can I hang up and just call back a ton of times? Or
No,
does that not work?
unfortunately, you can't. But thanks for being our number one fan and the first person on
Do
the
you have
line.
a question for Sticky Hive?
number one, Chris.
All right. I don't have a question for Sticky.
No,
I've
no,
talked
come
to
on.
him.
You got to have a question for Sticky. Let's go.
Well, we can't really because
every
if
day.
someone else calls, I need to be able to answer it.
Okay, true.
All right.
All
Bye,
right.
203 Hattie. Thanks for calling in.
Thanks, Chris.
You didn't
Yeah.
win.
Love you.
Bye.
I wonder who's next to call in.
Next. Nobody yet.
Okay, so a beginner beekeeper, what would you expect to say you would want for like a budget? Is it an expensive hobby? Is it cheap? Is it
You can get started and go a season for probably under $1,000.
Okay.
If you want to keep it like under budget, probably under like 600 or 700. If you're like a pretty handy person and you know your way around a wood shop, you can build all your own equipment and that'll save you a bunch of money too. I'm not handy in that fashion, so I have to buy all my hives assembled.
okay? And now you get them set up. There's the installation of the bees, and then you pretty much just let them rip, or is it a weekly maintenance? What is it?
At the beginning of the season, for any new hive, you want to be feeding them probably like you want to be checking them every week and making sure that they have plenty of food. Because
So you feed them.
Yeah, we feed them. It's a BT mixture that's what I call it. It's a mixture of.
He does call it that.
I do call it that. You guys hear me say it a lot. It's honey and sugar, water, chamomile flowers sometimes, dandelions, and then I use 2 commercially available beekeeping products. Honey Bee Healthy and Amino Bee something. They're made by the same company, but they basically have essential oils and amino acids that stimulate the bees to grow, comb quicker,
Touch my
and
wick,
fill
bro.
it up. Oh shit! Don't touch his wick. No fires, bro. No setting fires.
Oh shit, Kaya's calling in.
Oh, boy. You don't have Bluetooth. He's calling on the wrong
You're
phone.
calling the wrong line. Welcome to the Seriously Stoned.
Yeah, what's up? Did I win the giveaway?
No,
Oh,
you
I'm
did not
sorry.
win. Thanks for calling in. Have a nice day.
You're number 2. That was
That's
just-
Kaya Gardening,
That
everyone.
one was rude. He didn't even call in the Seriously Stone phone. He
Rude.
called his personal phone.
Called the
Which is
wrong
not-
Jack. This ain't the Jack, son.
It's this one. You got to call Seriously Stone people.
Typical Kaya.
God damn
Typical
it.
Kaya.
Do it his own way.
So you get them set up. You feed them to start. Then towards the end of the season, it kind of calms down, or is it more work then?
Depending, the first year you're ideally probably not going to take honey from them, so you're checking them every week and a half after probably the end of May, just to make sure they're doing okay, and if they need, there's a lot of things you want to look for. Make sure that the queen is still alive and she's laying eggs. Make sure they're bringing in pollen and nectar to turn into honey, things like that. So really, when you're looking in on them, you're just making sure that they're kind of operating as they're supposed to, and ideally you don't have much intervention to do once the end of spring and the beginning of summer kicks off. They kind of do their own thing, and the only thing you really need to do is give them space to grow.
Okay, so they kind of hunker down for winter. Hopefully they make it, and then they get kicking come springtime. Sick.
Yep, basically they don't hibernate though, which is a very common question that I get. They stay awake and alive during the winter. They form a cluster and they ball around the queen. And they keep her warm, and she starts laying eggs in February or March, getting ready for the spring, even when it's cold out.
Is it easy to tell that the queen's there? Like, is the viewing window right where she chills? Or
I usually don't
does
use
that
the
work?
viewing window, so I don't really look for the queen. She kind of surprises me if I'm looking in the hive when I'm inspecting it. Aggressive there.
First my wick.
Now he's
now
grabbing
my
at you.
No, bro.
I appreciate it. I
Usually
came
the-
unprepared today.
The queen usually surprises me
Here you go.
Sweet, perfect.
and runs across a frame that I'm looking at, and I realize she's there when I'm not really looking for her. That's the easiest way to find her, because if you look for her, you'll probably miss her. So the better thing is to look for eggs that she's laid, and that tells you that she's been there within the last 1 to 3 days.
That's all they take to hatch?
So a bee, to go from an egg to an actual bee, it takes a worker bee, it takes 3 weeks. It takes 21 days. But to go from an egg to a larva, it takes like 3 days, 4 days.
Just so everybody knows, this is super strong. And as Colin pointed out, it's acid water. Broken over.
What's the number to call? Medicated King wants to know.
Seriously?
Just
What's the number to call?
bingo. Let's get homeboy on. This week's sponsors are brought to you by Fat Joint Lifestyle. Check us out on Instagram, Fat Joint Lifestyle.
Got some big things coming, hopefully.
My birthday's coming up, so I'm doing something crazy for it. My wife thinks I'm fucking insane, but I think she's happier with what I'm about to do than buying a motorcycle. So we've come to a compromise.
What do you need?
Ashtray.
No, I just ash on the floor. No, I'm just kidding. Here.
Yeah, shout out to Care Factory.
Beautiful space. I wouldn't want to do that.
Oh, while we're waiting, let's open this box. Well, it's already open because Dom couldn't contain himself. But let's check out what Plain Jane sent us. For those of you who have heard me say it before, I used hemp to quit smoking cigarettes, and this was actually one of the many companies that I saw when out shopping for them. They sent us 2 full flavor hemp rolls and 2 menthol hemp rolls. Ooh, that's interesting. Menthol?
Menthol.
I mean, I
Fuck.
smoke menthols. I'll try it. See how.
Plain Jane, 3.5 grams, which is an eighth of an ounce, if anyone was curious. If I'm
Are
paying
those
attention,
Newport
following along.
flavored?
Moon rocks.
Grown in Southern Oregon, premium hemp flower, Moon Rocks.
Open it.
Safety sealed, 45% CBD. Dang, son. Let's go. Let's see what this looks like.
Eat hemp moon rocks?
Right off rip. It doesn't smell that bad. Can I smell it? Pass it over.
Doesn't look that bad.
I've seen worse come out of some of y'all motherfuckers' rooms. I'm just kidding.
Smells good.
You're not kidding. Yeah. Smells better than a lot of homemade moon rocks I've seen
Let me
in
see
these
that
parts.
And then a blunt as well, right?
Damn, I want to see what these nugs actually look like.
So, while he's looking at those, I just also want to say shout out SF Glass.
Nah, temp. Supposed to
Shout out Care Factory, Joe, for letting us fucking record here every week. Well, we stopped for a couple weeks because of the stupid pandemic. Stupid head.
And they sent us a blunt too. Blueberry diesel. Fuck it, we're lighting it. Let's
and
go.
then there was something else I wanted to shout out. I can't even remember now.
Oh my god.
What?
It has a fucking hair sticking right out of the tip of it.
Oh, heady.
Hey, I mean, I think it's probably cotton ball.
Oh,
But
I hope so.
I mean, unless like
I don't know why they put a cotton ball in there.
some
That
white
just seems weird.
pubes or some shit.
I don't know why they put some pubes in there. That seems weird too.
Bizarre, yeah. But I mean, let's see how it goes, right?
Get all up in this.
If you want, I'll hold your other blunt for you. The good one.
Are you gonna smoke the puby hemp one too? No.
Smoke them if you got them.
I can't do hemp.
Well, you got to try those menthol ones. Tell the people what's up.
It tastes like Newports, I bet. Is that your,
Tastes
that your
like
brand?
fucking Newports, kid.
Yeah, Newports. Newports. Guy. All right, let me try one. I'll try a hemp one. You try
Okay.
that.
So on first initial draw, this sucks dick.
That tastes awful too. No, I'm just joking with you. I just don't like blunts.
Now, to be fair, I'm not really a King Palma fan to begin with. So, shout out King Palma. Wait, you said my blunt sucked? That didn't have hemp in it.
I was fucking with you. I just said I don't like really smoking
Great.
blunts.
I totally forgot what this was, by the way. Smells great, though.
Holy Lord. Look at that little
Cherry
Look
Hills.
at this thing. Cherry
Grown by
Hills.
Qual House.
That's right.
Big ol' nugs.
I knew it
Qual
was Qual House, but I didn't know what strain it was.
That's a beautiful nug.
Give it a go. You got it. It's for the
I'm
camera.
gonna do a menthol.
Now you got it. That's a menthol?
Yeah.
It comes like a cigarette? Damn.
Zen.
Now hit this. You gotta
No.
You gotta do the blunt test.
I don't
You gotta
like
do the
blunts.
blunt test.
No, you do the blunt
It's
test.
a leaf test, Fred.
I'm not hitting a blunt that hit a pube in it.
Yeah, there was also a pubie.
Okay. Next, we're hitting the cigs kid. Hey kid, you gotta smoke? Hey, smokes kid. Oh, they look like Virginia Slims. My homegirl fucking back in the days, mom used to smoke these fucking
Oh, are those
things.
pre-rolls? I thought they were papers. Holy shit.
Let's go.
So does that taste worse or better than the pube blunt?
Better.
Yeah.
What are you smoking? A cigarette?
One of the whatevers.
Hello?
Hi, kid.
Hello?
Thanks for calling Seriously Stoned. Can we take your order? Oh, CK Swerve wants to.
Is that who it was?
I don't know, but you gotta go Instagram. He's video chatting. DM.
Hold on.
Yeah, you got this. You got this, son.
Here we go. This was number 3. He doesn't know yet. Hold on.
That no one knows, right?
Hey, did you just call in?
Yo. Yep.
Oh, sorry. You're number 3.
Shucks.
What's up, homie?
We'll say
Well,
How
if
you
you
living?
got a question for Sticky Hive, now you can ask it for him because he's on the air.
do I have a question for him?
Yeah, any bee questions or bee related questions?
Is honey good for dogs?
Oh, that's a good question.
Oh.
I don't know the answer to that.
Oh, stop the beekeeper!
We'll answer that, and you're gonna have to watch the podcast.
I can definitely answer that.
Oh, I got another caller.
We got another caller. People are actually calling in now.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey,
What up?
it's Aluma Glavi. What's up, man?
What's up, my man?
What's going on, boss?
How
Not
are you?
much.
brother?
Your caller number 4.
4.
So,
Four. Word.
you
What
did
number
not-
is the lucky number?
10?
10? Gotta be number 10.
Gotta be number 10.
Damn, man.
If you have any questions for the beekeeper, Sticky Hive, or Sticky Bees, you can ask it real quick before we, and we'll get it answered.
I didn't even think, man. I don't know. I've just been enjoying it.
All right, man. Well, we appreciate you calling in.
Thanks for tuning in.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
no
man.
worries. Take it easy, guys.
Peace out, bro.
Peace.
This is going pretty well.
That was number 4, right?
4.
Yep, number 4. I bet we're gonna have a bunch towards the end.
People are like, did I call? Am I the right number?
Typical.
If it comes
stoners,
to 7
usually
o'clock
late.
and it's not, we don't get to a number 10. It's just gonna be whoever's last. We're gonna call them back.
All right, here you go for CK. Honey is safe for dogs to eat in small quantities. Sugars can also cause tooth decay, so it might be a good idea to brush your dog's teeth if you do feed them honey.
There you go.
For those of you at home, when we told you that you were going to learn something today, we also learned that Fred can read.
Very well. Yay. I went to college and everything, not for beekeeping.
I'm just fucking around. So, Fred, you've been a long-time consumer of cannabis?
Since I was 13.
Hoosers.
Dang, son.
I'm 37 now. Shit.
So
Wow, you're old.
I am old.
solid 20 plus
And like
years
Wook
of
years,
consumption.
that's like 70,
75.
75.
I started my wooking very, very early, which is why I look like a lot less of a wook. Although I did comb my hair today, and I put some of my own
what you got? What you
product
got?
in there. I have
Tell
some
us about it.
pomade that I make with some of my leftover beeswax in the fall and winter. I usually make a little bit of this. I started making
Yes,
this
tell
this
us
season
about
in
all
beard
the
balm.
products you got from
All sorts of random shit that I make.
that come from fucking.
This off season, I learned to make a lot of fun stuff. I learned to make hemp wicks, and I learned to make beard balms and pomade and some other grooming products. I started making scented wax melts, things like that, fire starters for camping and outdoor fire pits and shit like that.
That's pretty sick. Are your products in any places to go in?
No, I'm hoping that by the fall next year I'll have enough surplus materials to make a ton and get into a couple shops locally here in the greater Worcester area.
Oh yeah, yeah. I know you were talking to like.
Barbershops are opening back up, man.
Barbershops
They're
are
good.
opening back up. Shout out to Axe to Grind.
Yes. Shout out to the boys. Shout out to the crew. Seen them the other day.
I've got a surprise coming from them once I can get in there and get my haircut. Bee-themed haircut.
Are you gonna do something like crazy like that?
I'm going to do something very crazy with...
Whoa,
Oh, watch out, everyone! Friday on the loose.
a spicy sticky.
Very spicy.
Spicy, sticky.
Extra
Stick-
spicy.
Sticky is spicy.
Anybody that watches our podcast and like wants to go in one wheel ever, hit me up. Because nobody ever.
He's a one-wheeling fiend.
We're not that cool.
I can't afford one, dude. I'm broke.
You can rent them.
You can rent them?
Yeah, there's a app that you can rent them and they'll bring it to you and then you can bring it back or whatever.
Let's go.
I use a longboard, so I got to use my legs. I'm not cool enough to have a motor.
Yeah, no, I
Scoot
just
me around.
skateboard and just.
Listen, bro.
And I suck at longboarding, for the record.
This is so much easier. Like, I have a bad knee and back, and my kid wants to just go all day. I could tire him out before my battery dies.
Probably good for taking the dog out, too.
Dog at night. It's got a headlight. That's pretty fun. He gets kind of weirded out about it, you know?
Wouldn't you? It's like an alien spaceship running behind you.
I don't get weirded out by it.
No.
skate
You're one with the aliens.
I
bro.
think it's weird.
Oh, man. So.
I'm waiting on a. Speaking of, wait a minute. Time out. I'd like to take this moment to shout out to New Yak City, NEWYAKCITY. They held a Chunky Donkey raffle. I bought a skateboard as my entry because if you
Oh,
would
that's the place?
when you
Hell yeah.
bought stuff,
That's where you get the
your
shoes from?
entries were like the money you spend were entries. So I got like 2 entries or whatever, and I was lucky enough to win a size 10 for Fat Joint Lifestyle. So, Chunky Donkeys are available with Fat Joint Lifestyle. Unless it's a special box, then y'all can go fuck yourself, and we're just gonna hold on to them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, random people are gonna get the special boxes from the skate shops. So there is a potential,
Special.
and that's like an extra $3,000 on top of like what they sell for. So like it's a
What do they usually
big
sell
come
for?
up. These Chunky Donkeys right now are selling for like $1,500,
Oh, holy shit.
and their retail's $110. So the profits are nice
That's
when
a
you
huge
hit. But it's
profit.
like they come
Yeah,
up of the
absolutely.
year. You know
Yeah.
that comes around like once a year if you're lucky.
I mean, I heard
yeah.
you have another pair of.
Strawberry coughs, yeah.
Strawberry
But I had to
coughs,
buy
too.
my way into those.
Yeah,
That
those
wasn't-
cost a lot.
But they're gonna sell for a lot someday. So I'm still banking on them never releasing without the coughing strawberry.
Yeah, shout out COVID.
Yeah, it's kind of fucked it all up
New
for everyone.
terrorist.
They're finally they posted the you ready to camp out for the Jordan Dior's because they posted them online. $2,000 retail. We're talking like a $10,000 resale.
Oh,
You're going to
the
go
Dior,
sleep on the street for that shit?
Send it.
the Dior
Yeah.
Me,
dunks.
him, and fucking Chris.
Enjoy.
So,
Where about?
Probably right outside
yeah, Ground Zero, New York.
their number 1 location. Would be my guess. 5th Ave or whatever.
Enjoy that.
Yeah. Hey, for the bread, I'll sleep out there. We'll just park the box truck on the curb.
Box truck.
Oh,
huh?
shit. When does this release?
Friday.
I've already posted a picture rubbing it in people's faces that I bought a box truck, so that's okay.
All right.
I was trying not to say anything.
According to my thing, just so everybody knows, I was up till 5 in the morning because my asshole landlord decided to party and then have a brawl in the middle of the street and
With his friends?
Whatever ended up happening with the cops that came this morning when that chick woke up and called the cops?
Smash their windshields. And let me just tell you, people, I'm a nice person, but you keep anyone in my house up till 5 in the morning, I'm very angry. So don't come and ask me
You cannoli head.
to talk to the police and tell them a statement on what fucking happened, because I ain't gonna fucking help you. First of all, I ain't talking to the fucking cops. And second of all,
Damn right. All cops are bastards.
you can go fuck yourself. You kept my fucking fiance up till 5 in the morning. Crazy motherfucker.
I had one very nice cop when I went to get the swarm at Steve's house, at our buddy Steve's house, SF Glass. He pulled me over for doing 92 and was real nice about it. I told him that I had an empty beehive in my car. I was trying to get a swarm before it got dark and cold out. And he gave me a ticket for doing 72. And instead of on radar, he estimated it. And he said, bro, I won't even be offended if you decide to contest this in court. Like, I really won't be upset about this. So go ahead.
Hey, shout out to the
The one nice cop. The one.
for giving you a ticket still.
I mean, I'm not surprised by that. They still got to make their money even during COVID.
They have 8 more minutes to call. And if nobody calls in, then Aluma Globby wins because
Can
he was
I
the
call?
last caller. No, you're on the show. You already know what number you'd be.
I'm just waiting for my heady Gucci B-print leather.
If I can find some, bro, I'll make you something cool with it.
I'm ready for it.
So, box truck.
Yeah, buying a box truck.
What are you going to do with it?
I am going to turn
dance
it
party.
into something really fucking cool. I'm going to customize the fuck out of it. Do hood rat shit with my friends with the box truck.
Customize the fuck out of it and do hood rat shit. I like it.
Yeah. I've always wanted a box truck.
That sounds about right.
Last year for my birthday, I built a glass studio. So this year, I'm going to buy a box truck and be reckless. I was going to buy a motorcycle.
So
Wife
if you
said
see
that was
a
dangerous.
box truck with smoke pouring out of it,
You'll know who it is.
you know who it is.
It's your boy! Pew, 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 pew.
Will you be recording the podcast in there?
No, probably not.
That sounds a little loud.
Speaking of, we did see a really cool
Yeah.
mobile recording studio when we went to Wisely Hash. Shout out Wisely. When we went up to Maine.
They have a mobile. They bought it from like Channel 5 News. There's a box truck meant for mobile recording. And,
Yeah.
like,
Oh,
Sick.
get out. Like all the equipment and everything
Like
already.
roof
No, it
deck
was just
and
a
everything.
soundproofed box truck. Like it was
Perfect.
built out for a recording studio. It was pretty sick. Yeah, it was dope. They said we could use it anytime we go up there, which was pretty sick.
Yeah, we gotta go.
they're awesome
Are we
dudes.
gonna
I
go up
miss
to Maine
Maine.
this summer?
Yeah, we gotta go back to Maine.
We gotta
Do you
get some lobster.
Are we allowed to go to Maine?
Can we go to Maine? We can go to Maine.
As
I
long as
think you
there's
can
not
go.
more than 10 people, I think the governor said.
Well, fuck it, Bob. We're going to Maine.
Going to Maine, Bob. We like going to Maine. We go to Maine just for fun anyway.
Maine's cool.
Why the hell not?
I like Maine.
I love Maine.
Blueberries are cool. Who's that
Blueberries.
pipe by? Is that by Rich Villa?
Oh yeah, shout
Dude,
out Rich Villa.
That pipe that he fucking posted the other night? Holy
the lemon
shit,
drop.
bro.
Dyke
Dude, he's
Row,
come
actually.
such a fucking long way, man.
Yeah, I went to Chips with him. Like, he invited me to go to Chips, like, spur of the moment 2 years ago, and I went with him. It was the best experience of my life. Shout out Rich Villa.
Shout out Rich. Richie Rich. Homeboy.
And shout out to Opus Glassworks for responding to my post about getting a slide.
You
made.
found someone.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Took
I
long
took
enough.
my money, made my slide, sent it back. And Rich Villa would have done it for me, but the motherfucker is busy as fuck. His custom list is long as hell. And as much as we're homies, I don't expect any special treatment. So
I mean, no, I'm just kidding. Yeah, shout out Rich, man. He was like, when I first started glass blowing, he was like, yo, come get in on this collab. I'm doing a show. I want like all my homies that even remotely blow glass to be on this. So it was cool to be on a rig. Like it was for sale at Lily's during the show that he did, Quantum Leap. I was available at another gallery showing. So it was cool that he was like, yo, man, I know you just got started, but like come throw it down with us.
yeah.
It was
He's a cool dude.
Oh, yeah.
You got any shout outs?
Not that I can think of. No, I'm pretty high.
Who taught you, like, did you teach yourself beekeeping?
I did not teach myself, and I don't advise anybody to just teach themselves on the internet because you'll learn a lot of bad information. Even for me, like 10 beekeepers, 100 opinions. That's usually what the old adage is. I took an intro to beekeeping class at Drumlin Farm, so I could shout out to Drumlin Farm. My kid and I both love it there. It's a teaching farm in, I believe, Lincoln, Mass. It's run by the Mass Audubon. But they had this old cartoony dude who teaches beekeeping, and I took like a 6-week course with him, and then I helped out a little bit with a couple of his hives, and I had 2 hives my first year after taking that course, and I basically used him as a mentor my first couple seasons, and then started meeting some other beekeepers online who I could develop a friendship with, and then in this area who I kind of go back and forth with, and we kind of talk through our issues and stuff. Things like that. Yep.
It's a collective of you.
Yep. The more people you have sharing ideas, the better. It's definitely not you feel like you're out there alone, even if you have 1 or 2 other people helping you out in a hive, because usually you're the one who's in charge. But there's a lot of other people who collectively have quite a wealth of knowledge, and it's important to spread that, which is why I focus on teaching a lot of people as much as I can about what I'm doing on my page.
What is the number one issue that a beekeeper runs into, maybe regionally or in general, that you wouldn't necessarily suspect?
Mites are the biggest threat to bees, and people probably don't
Spider
realize
mites?
that. No, that's a good question. It's not weed, though. Varroa mites, and tracheal mites, they're just little mites that it's kind of like a tick for bees. They get into their brood cells before they're even born, and they'll deform the bees when they come out if they do manage to last that long.
Is that how you get murder bees?
That is not how you get
Murder bees. Yeah, what are these murder bees?
The murder hornets or the murder bees?
Murder
There's
hornets.
2 types.
What are these things that I'm
So
hearing
there's
about?
Wait a
murder
second,
bees,
there's
which are those are Africanized honeybees. Those were in the news years ago. Those are bees that they got here from Africa to Brazil. They're not up here. They're in the south, though. You can find them in like Florida, Texas,
Another reason why I
Arizona.
don't need to go to Florida.
They get super aggressive. and
Florida, not like the rest of us.
Definitely not. America's Wang. Thank you, Florida. But the murder hornets are from Japan and Southeast Asia, and they're not really a problem. That was a big media exaggeration because they got sick of talking about COVID. They've found 2 of them in Washington State, and they're common in Asia, and they've dealt with beekeepers there have dealt with them. Our bees haven't adapted to them yet, but it's not like there's a ton of them. They found 2 in the last year and a half. So it's not
2
something I'm worried about.
murder hornets?
2 murder hornets total. Now the thing is, they're scary as fuck because they're this big, and their
Bro,
stingers
if
are
I
big.
see
I'm gonna fist fight that fucking
Yeah,
thing.
you're gonna
kid.
fist fight.
Bro.
I'm
No,
punch
you're not.
that
You're gonna
shit
run
out of the
away.
no,
You're gonna
listen, man.
Sticky, go get the murder hornet.
Bro, if a fucking murder hornet comes at me, bro, I'm finding the nearest gun and I'm blasting that thing.
Now, if they are
Yeah.
around, they can sting through like a bee suit, and they are pretty
Through
hefty through a beekeeping suit. Yeah,
Is that shit like Kevlar?
So you aren't even safe from
for
these fuckers.
you're not
stingers?
safe from them.
Is it Kevlar for stingers?
It's cotton, but their stingers are thick enough that they can go through it.
But a regular bee, you're good.
Yeah.
We got 1 more minute. If nobody calls in,
Shit.
we gotta. Should we check Illumagloby and see if he commented on and
Yes,
or
we should make sure he followed the rules.
I don't see him on this one. I don't see him on.
Uh-oh.
Looks like I'm gonna win a wallet.
Uh-oh.
I'll follow the rules right now.
Is Chris gonna win by default?
Kaya called. You can't let him win.
Illumagloby didn't even.
Kai definitely didn't follow the rules.
203 Hetty did.
Shit. Is he about to win?
Can
Can he win? I mean, I guess he's the only winner, I guess.
Dubz glass, seriously stone 1. Let me check this one again.
I try not to enter those things to give like
No, King T didn't call in. Yeah, by default. And the winner is
203 Hetty.
203 Hetty. Congratulations. Let's call him up. The first caller is the one who ended up winning because he followed the rules, people.
did it right.
I guess that's what happens when you read the instructions.
Good job, young Chris. Way to
Way
go.
to go, bucko.
call him up. Let's see if he answers. Just so everybody knows, 203 Hetty is my roommate, which is why Colin said, is he allowed to win? But you know what? He read the rules.
Yo,
Why, hello, Christopher.
what up?
203 Hetty.
Would you believe it if we said we had some good news for you?
Would you believe it if I said that
What's this good news?
would you believe it if I said that you were the first caller out of 4 callers and none of the other callers followed the rules? They didn't tag anybody.
They must have been seriously.
Dude, it's simple rules. How are you not going to follow the rules?
Would you believe it if I were to tell you that you are the proud new winner of a wallet painted by me?
That's lit.
Are you in the middle of Fortnite right
Dude,
now?
that's fucking sick.
Just so everybody knows.
I'm in the middle of a arena.
Just so everybody knows, he's in like.
But it's
a
good.
tournament
I'm good.
or trying to get into a tournament for like $1 million.
$1 million.
I'm so hyped on that.
Is that for real?
Yeah,
That's
I swear to
sick.
God.
Are you close?
Holy shit! $1 million Fortnite tournament.
Dude, that's awesome. Am I on the show right now? Is the show still being recorded?
Yeah.
Yep.
That's lit.
Talk to us about this Fortnite thing.
Are you trying to win millions of dollars?
Fortnite's just fucking dumb. It's a dumb game. It's a bad game, but I'm addicted to it. That's like all I can say.
No,
But
what is this? What is this?
Absolutely
I get mad at the
What
game
is-
every day.
What's this $1 million contest Dubz is talking about?
There was a $1 million competition that just ended this past weekend. $1 million total in like prize pools. First place was 100,000. Top
didn't
100
win.
all made money. Like 100th place got $400.
Just so everybody knows,
but
he's
like,
still
yeah.
my roommate, so he didn't win the $1 million.
Did you win any money?
No, I did not even qualify. I am currently in contact. I'm in contact with Epic because they're not letting me compete because my email, I can't, I put the wrong email in and I can't authenticate my account.
Are you going to Karen
So I'm
out
not
on
allowed to
them?
compete for money right now.
Chris is about to Karen out on the
Yeah.
software people.
Well, we appreciate you calling in and following the rules, and
Dude, I'm stoked.
I'll ship this wallet to you.
I was going to say, when can I expect tracking?
Just put it in the mailbox and tell
Dude,
them
it's
ready.
going to be the fastest delivery you've ever seen.
You should tie it to the dog or the chameleon, one or the other.
Definitely the dog. Okay, hold on. I just got a neighborhood alert. Someone has taken a go-kart from Norcross Street. People, you don't fuck with another man's go-kart.
If you see a
especially
go-kart on the loose, you know
on
where
Norcross
it's
Street.
You know where to look for it.
Who the fuck stole? Where are you going to go? It's broad daylight.
from. Straight out of Norcross.
That's like something you'd see on Live PD.
We live in the middle of the woods, people.
Exactly. Where meth is king.
Yo, Ring Alert has been lit lately. We've had black bears and we've had bobcats.
What is Ring Alert?
I have a ring.
It tells you all the stuff
Ring
that's going
doorbell.
on, like, in your neighborhood.
Oh my god, it's like a mischief log.
So
Yeah,
if you
so if,
if you
like,
have a Ring
people-
doorbell, it connects to all the other ones and it tells you what's going
can
on
see
in
if
your
there's like
region.
a string of break-ins in your neighborhood,
Or black bears,
or black bears,
bobcats,
bobcats in our case,
got a
shifty-looking
bobcat.
UPS men,
people stealing golf carts apparently.
people stealing packages.
Fucking FedEx.
Dude,
Yeah,
it's a wild world out there.
First off, I just want to say, Amazon, step your delivery game up if you're gonna get into a delivery game, because multiple times you've dropped other people's packages on my porch.
That's because their drivers can't read.
And you've never dropped off my package somewhere else. It's
1
just
+ 2 is 7. Right?
these other people. I feel sorry for them.
Dude, they might have, because I didn't get my package.
I don't work for Amazon, so I'm not delivering those packages to someone else.
They work very hard though.
Wait, should I hang up or am I supposed to stay on? Am I still on the podcast? Can I be a guest now?
I mean, you're on, but we're about to get off.
Weren't you already
anyway,
a guest?
so- yeah, you used guest number
3?
2, 3.
Technically 2.5, right? Because there was 2 of them on the second episode.
Yeah, I guess.
Not only am I a guest, I'm also a listener.
Oh,
Every episode. Hell
really?
yeah.
Thanks,
Absolutely.
man. Appreciate that. What's
Well-
been your favorite episode so far?
Good question. Watching you guys struggle through the figuring out Zoom was
Oh yeah, Zoom, huh?
Yeah, that
was
one
a
was
bad
tough.
one.
I like that for comedy, though. But that's because I'm your friend.
And then, do you have any questions for us?
Yeah, we're gonna get off, Chris. Talk to you later, bud.
All right.
Later.
See you later.
I guess the one question that's related to the show that I can ask you that's not be related is how did you guys get into cannabis use?
I started when I was 12. I found one of my parents' stash of weed. I won't say which one. And I got high.
Never been the same since?
I never went back. I don't really drink alcohol.
Personally, I bought weed off this kid on the bus. It was probably oregano or some shit. Didn't even get me high. I literally spent the next probably 5 or 6 years thinking like weed was a waste of money. And then I got some
Bad
other
weed is a waste of money.
So then I got some other weed, like someone that I like really looked up to growing up was like, yo, like you gotta smoke this. And I was like, oh, weed's a waste of money, I'm good, man. Kind of like one of those like just say no commercials. And he's like, nah, man, you gotta hit this. So I hit it, and I was like, oh my god, this is what everyone's talking about. And I've literally been high every day since.
Yep.
It's like I'm 15, so coming up on 11 years of everyday use.
Real quick, just so I can reiterate, acid is definitely stopping COVID.
Is that what's stopping you from getting COVID?
Yeah.
Good to know.
I've done scientific
You should
research.
let the CDC know. Let Trump know.
Whatever.
They won't listen.
Imagine
Okay.
Trump comes out
I've
tomorrow.
been
on the
eating
news.
LSD every day.
I've been eating LSD and
It's
it
preventing
is
my COVID.
phenomenal.
You
It
guys-
is, my trips are huge. That's amazing.
I mean, honestly, if he
I know
came
how to
out
deal
and-
with the Wuhan.
Honestly, if he came out and said that, would anybody be really surprised?
I think more people would fuck with him.
I think a lot more people. We'd see a shift in the people who do fuck with them, but a lot more people would fuck
All of a
with
sudden, Vermin Supremes people are like, yeah, Trump.
them. Bring it.
Which would, well, yeah,
Absolutely.
Vermin. Just so we know, I've talked to Vermin.
Yeah, we sat down with him. It was an interesting
Presidential
even-
candidate Vermin Supreme. We've talked to him. He
Is
said
he running
he'd
again?
be
said
down
he'd
to
come
come
on.
on the podcast.
You should definitely have
He
him
smokes
on.
weed too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm sure that's not.
I
all
want
he
to make him a
smokes.
custom boot for his head.
You should. Like
Yeah.
custom leather or just custom paint job?
He was like,
No,
will you
like one
vote?
of his boots. Like
He was like, will
custom
you
paint
vote
job?
for me? And I was like,
his hat
no.
boots.
I
They're
looked-
those are
I don't
special
know.
boots. They're not just like
They're fitted to his head. I understand. You
Yeah.
can't just keep a boot on your head unless it's
Yeah,
fitted
it's
to
for
it
fat people calf boot, and it's a little extended. He gets them
right over the
head
head.
size.
Yep.
Is that really what it is?
I mean, he said that they're like a special
Specific
boot.
It's a special head boot that he has to order.
It's a specific one.
Yeah, I went to the head boot store. Got myself a new head boot.
So
Speaking of new head boots, I gotta go to the hat store.
Are they
About to
open
back-
tomorrow?
About to
Open?
open back up.
Is it by
Gotta-
appointment
gotta
only?
get myself some summer straws.
Do you get like
kid.
a guided
Just-
shopper
oh my
and
God.
appointment only who holds your hand with gloves on?
Shh, bro, they better going in there to spend like $1,500 on hats. They better be ready for me like that.
All right, so I just want to say shout out Care Factory again, SF Glass, follow
Okay.
Sticky Bees. Hit 'em
Make
up
sure
if
you
you're looking to
fucking
follow us,
like the shit, rate the shit, like the shit, show the shit to everyone you know.
subscribe.
Fuck, I don't care what you do with it. Just
Spotify,
show some love,
YouTube.
please. Tell your phone, hey Google, play Seriously
Seriously
Stoned
Stoned.
podcast, and it'll literally do it for you. It's effortless.
This
Just
is
do
like
it.
episode 20,
19.
19.
I think so.
I think it's
I don't think it's 20. We should have done something
Episode
special for
19.
this.
It's definitely been seriously stoned though.
We're definitely stoned.
We smoked a lot of weed.
Hell yeah.
Shout out everyone we shouted out.
Shout out to pot.
Shout outs to shout outs.
Shout out to marijuana. We just tight.
Peace, guys.
Later, guys.
Peace.